This is the best Stasis Titan build in Destiny 2. Let me explain. Titans, you guys have arguably the best builds when it comes to PvE. You guys have the Strand Titan, the Solar Titans, the Arc Titans, the Void Titans, and now the Stasis Titans. You guys have a build for anything. The Behemoth Titan is what we're taking a look at today. With Season of the Wish, we have a ton of different reworks that, in my opinion, take this build to the next level. Guys, if you're new here, welcome to the family, and if you've been here, welcome home. Let's get right into it. This build is going to revolve around us shattering a ton of stasis crystals to give ourselves a 500% grenade regen and collecting the stasis crystal shards that are left behind to give ourselves infinite melees and overshields. There are three things that I typically look for in a build: the survivability, the damage output, and how consistent it is, and this build hits all three benchmarks flawlessly. For us to achieve that 500% grenade regen, we're going to have to rotate our grenades, our melees, and our stasis weapon kills. If you have ever played the Behemoth Titan, you'll understand that the default melee doesn't necessarily help you create, but it helps you destroy. We're going to be using the aspect Howl of the Storm to create more stasis crystals for us to shatter using our weapon. The exotic of choice we're going to be using is going to be the Verglass Curve. It's a stasis bow that you got from the previous season. You can get it now by using an exotic cipher, but if you don't have it, you can also use a Cryothesia or the Agriceptor if you don't have the Verglass Curve. The Verglass Curve is what works best for me. The intrinsic perk on the Verglass Curve is Hell Barrage. Final blows with this weapon grant stasis arrows. Your next hipfire shot will fire all of them in a single volley. Its perk is Hellstorm. Direct hits with stasis arrows freeze combatants and slow opposing guardians. Stasis arrows that impact the environment create stasis crystals. This build is going to revolve around us creating and destroying those crystals. If you have the exotic catalyst, freezing or slowing a target will grant the weapon faster draw speed for a short period of time. It's nothing too crazy, but it does have a slower draw time on it, so if you just want to go a little bit faster, you can get the catalyst, but it's not necessary for this build to work. The aspects that we're going to be running with this build are going to be Howl of the Storm and Tectonic Harvest. Howl of the Storm allows you to, while sliding, activate your charged melee ability to launch a wave of stasis energy forward that will freeze targets and create stasis crystals. Tectonic Harvest, shattering a stasis crystal creates a stasis shard. This shard grants melee energy when picked up by you or your allies. We're going to be pairing this up with the Glacier Grenade. The whole point of this build is to create a ton of crystals, shatter those crystals, collect the shards, that way we have overshields, infinite melee, and again, super ability regen for our grenades, about 500%. The fragments we will be running alongside those aspects will be Whisper of Fissures, Shards, Rime, and Rending. Whisper of Fissures will increase the damage of stasis when we destroy a crystal or defeat a frozen target. Whisper of Shards will temporarily boost grenade recharge rates when a crystal is destroyed. Shattering additional crystals will increase the duration of that buff. Whisper of Rime will allow us to collect stasis shards and gain overshield, which will start to decay after 10 seconds. However, collecting other shards will increase your shields and refresh that timer. Whisper of Rending will allow our primaries to do increased damage to crystals and frozen targets. So the Verglass bow will be able to one-shot the crystals and do increased damage to any enemy encased in stasis. Now we'll be pairing this up with Precious Scars. Precious Scars was reworked in Season of the Wish. Before, it used to only give your allies extra shields when you got a revive. However, now if you get a kill with a gun matching your subclass type, it'll grant you restoration for 3 seconds. This will allow us to pair this with the Verglass Curve. If you freeze an enemy and you shatter that crystal next to that enemy, it will actually count as a kill with the bow and proc restoration for you. You don't always have to destroy a stasis crystal to kill an enemy to get restoration, as long as you get the kill with the bow. So if you find yourself low or in a sticky situation and you see a harpy or a dreg or a thrall, whatever the case is, you can also get the headshot, get the kill with your bow, and that's what's going to proc restoration. Doesn't have to be a headshot, you just need the kill with the bow, or you can run a heavy stasis LMG or rocket or linear, whatever you prefer. You can get the kill and that will also proc restoration. For the helmet to work, you just need a kill with a gun matching your subclass, which is a really great addition to this helmet, because before the helmet was extremely useless. Now it's actually one of the better helmets for the Titan to run in PvE. For our weapons, we already know that we're running the Vertiglass Curve, so no need to review that. For our secondary and our heavy, I ran the Harsh Language. It was used to dispatch enemies quickly if I didn't want to waste my abilities because they weren't consistent, or there just weren't a lot of adds to waste my abilities on, but I also used it to destroy my stasis crystals. Now the whole point is to destroy the stasis crystals with the bow and get your stasis explosion damage, which is fine, but if you just want to get rid of a ton of crystals after popping your super, you can also use your grenade launcher and get those shards so you could build your abilities back up or give yourself some more overshields. Now for our heavy, I ran the Cataphract GL3. With some of the seasonal artifact mods, you can incorporate Strand into your build if you want, but we're not going to get into that with this video. I used it so I could destroy the stasis crystals or just put a ton of damage on a yellow bar or a boss. You can also run any other weapon that you prefer. I also ran the Chain of Command, which was a seasonal weapon a couple seasons ago. It was just that it was stasis, so it worked well with my precious scars. And then it also had Demolitionist and Adrenaline Junkie, so I was just feeding back into my grenades and always having it up. It worked well for me, but I found myself feeling kind of useless for the boss because it's not really a heavy boss DPS weapon, but I was able to control the room and kill a ton of adds pretty quickly using these weapons, while my teammates were able to kill the boss. If you guys want to take the build a step further, you can incorporate the artifact perks Pillar of Ice and Hell of Storm. Pillar of Ice will allow you to spawn stasis crystals by defeating combatants that are encased inside the stasis, and Hell the Storm will allow you to do increased damage to targets that are encased and do more damage to the stasis crystals themselves. If you shatter those stasis crystals, it will also release shards of ice that will deal damage and slow targets. These are the mods that we're going to be running with this build. I'll put it on screen now. For our helmet, we're going to be running Harmonic Siphon, which is just stasis siphon, but when it's harmonic it costs less energy, so you can fit more mods on. We'll be running Hands-On and Ashes to Assets. For our gauntlets, we're going to be running Grenade Kickstart, Firepower, and Heavy-Handed. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough to put on, but hopefully you guys have enough slots to put on Heavy-Handed. I don't have it here. For our chest piece, this is going to fluctuate based off whatever you're fighting, but it's just going to be your resistance mods and concussive dampener. For our boots, we're going to be running Recuperation, Innervation, and Absolution. For our mark, we're going to be running 2 Reaper mods as well as a Bomber mod. And focusing our stat distribution, we're going to be focusing Resilience, Discipline, Strength, and then Recovery. Your recovery should be about tier 5, maybe tier 4 if you're not lucky and don't have Artifice armor. But we definitely want to prioritize our resilience, our discipline, and our strength. Just remember guys, the restoration is what's going to give us the survivability. So if you don't have a ton of recovery, you guys are super fine, because when we get a kill, whether that's with the bow directly or by shattering a stasis crystal with that bow, we're going to be proccing restoration from precious scars. And that's going to be it for the video guys. I really do enjoy using my Titan a little bit more now. If you guys know me, I'm not a big Titan supporter. I do love my Warlocks and my Hunters more, but I just couldn't pass this build up. This build is super fun. I found myself enjoying the coil, getting through my plat runs, using it in GM, some of my raids. It's a versatile build that I really do enjoy. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know what you guys would do if you guys had to change it, or what weapons you guys use in conjunction with this build, so I can maybe try it out. Guys, we do stream on Twitch. We use these builds live. We try out new builds as well, and we also do a little bit of PvP. So if you guys haven't already, go head over to my Twitch channel, drop me a follow, check me out over there where we use all this stuff live. If you guys have any questions or want to recommend a build, that's definitely the place so we can work through it together. Also guys, happy New Year's. It is 2024. I really do want to do a ton of different things. I want to do big things with this. I want to create a really dope community. So leaving a subscription, dropping a like on the video helps me out, lets me know you guys want more videos. Also steers me in the right direction of the type of content you guys want to see. If you guys haven't already, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.